Well, I'm sorry it's been a bit of a while since I've done a film review, but finally here we are. I finally had the opportunity to go see Pinocchio, the Guillermo del Toro version, and that's been catching my interest particularly because of the themes. While this is a film that has been told, well, a story by Carlo Collodi, has been told countless number of times. Disney was the one who sort of made it most popular. This one is much more darker in tone and more, I would say, in your face with a message, which actually is a good thing. It deals openly with Mussolini-era fascism. Right now, as we speak, we have a sympathizer, even though she probably disagrees with this, that supports Mussolini. Fratelli d'Italia, who put in their leader, Giorgia Meloni, as their prime minister being voted in Italy. Signora Meloni. Bit of a warning there for the future to come in case things worsen off and she makes pacts with people like Putin and Orban and Le Pen. Don't let that happen. But getting back to the story in of itself, you already know what it is. Boy comes to life. He's wooden. He thinks he's real, but he's not. It's a bit hard to pull my nose without giving me a nosebleed, but everyone knows the story. But I think the film shines on some level, even though it's not perfect. I didn't quite gel with the musical numbers, mainly because of the themes that it discusses, which I think are very important. And the animation of itself, which is something I think most people could agree upon, is absolutely stunning. I hope this wins at the Oscars over any of the Disney, Pixar shite that has been released this year. They have really disappointed me with Lightyear, which I didn't even bother going to see, so take your word for it. Let's just hope this one stands and it wins, because that would be triumphant, even if it's a story that's been told a number of times. That is probably the reason why I left it quite late. So I didn't see it when it came out in cinemas. I saw it on Netflix. Kind of just as a means of... I'm not so sure on this one, but I'm glad I finally had the opportunity to see it. I think the animation of itself is the most wonderful thing about it, and the politics of it all. It certainly reminded me a lot of Anomalisa and Shivering Truth, which is on Adult Swim. I think may have been done by the same people, or was it Starburns? But it has a very photorealistic look about it. Fantastic Mr. Fox and Isle of Dogs also has a similar sort of facet about it, that the human armature puppet characters almost look a little too lifelike. You can tell the creases in their skin or their wrinkles. Arbon doesn't do that. But Pinocchio and Isle of Dogs and Anomalisa and Fantastic Mr. Fox and even that House film, which I didn't like, that came out on Netflix earlier this year, certainly did. It's even better than Wendell and Wild, which was perhaps the most shocking disappointment of the year. And I say that with a heavy heart, because that was a movie I was really excited for, even more so than Pinocchio. But unfortunately, it didn't quite deliver. And I certainly would not be included in the top 30 or 25 this year. I'm really sorry to say, but at least Pinocchio did, although not as highly, in my opinion, as Where is Anne Frank, my number one favourite film of the year, or the Charlotte Solomon animated biopic, or even for that matter, Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, and I'm still debating about Homer's Somewhere Else, which I actually talked to the filmmaker who did that film, which is kind of like a Mexican version of Flea. But like Flea, Del Toro's Pinocchio is what people say is woke, for good reason. But it's not woke enough to alienate right-wing audiences. It's actually, there's something for everyone in this one. And yes, it is a PG film, and some people will say it's not a kids' movie. It still is. It just deals with more heavier subject matter. And you see child soldiers and children playing with firearms, children being killed. Although this isn't no explicit detail, but it's very much obvious the son of Geppetto, the inventor of the Pinocchio wooden boy, dies, and he creates the Pinocchio doll because of grief and personal bereavement. If you're someone who's sensitive or has had lost family members, probably don't watch this film. You're going to start crying. I didn't. It's not The Snowman or Edward Scissorhands for me, but I could see why it would be very emotional for some people. But there's a lot of light-hearted elements to spell away some of the darkness, which is always important if you're targeting a film like this to family audiences. It's certainly not as bleak as The Breadwinner or WALTZ with Bashir, which are, really harsh type of films. Breadwinner is a 12A. This is PG. WALTZ with Bashir is 18. That's certainly not for kids. But this one, you can at least give a try on. Skinny Media signing off until next time. Keep on watching and Nadal Clarwin, Joyeux Noël, Feliz Navidad!